All right, so in this episode on the Moving Forward podcast, where we talk about moving forward in business and in life, we're going to be talking about the past couple of months of what's been going on in my life and what's been happening. There's been a lot of things that's been happening, some stressful things, some good things, and also some bad things. But that's a part of life and that's a part of business. So we're going to get straight into it and kind of break down every single one of those topics and talk about every single one of those topics and my thought processes behind them. So let's go and start off with moving forward in business. So ever since I was a kid, I essentially wanted to be the best at whatever it was, whether it was sports, which was like basketball, whether it was running, which was cross country and track. And now, shifting that over, it's come into business. So I've always wanted to exceed and excel at whatever I did. Little quick story, little backstory was, I was one of the top runners in the state of California, and I was only a sophomore. And the discipline and everything that I took from being an athlete, there was a huge correlation that I understood. Whereas, how much work and output that you put in translated to how good you can actually be. So I took that same exact concept and did that in business. More discipline with business, more output that you do in business, whether it's marketing, sales, learning, anything like that. The more you do that, the more that you can use that to scale your business. So I took all that and you kind of had my mindset, and that's how I kind of wanted to run my business. So when I took over the business in 2019, I had this actual vision on where I want to take the business, and I wanted to take the business. Now it's actually in our onboarding training for every single one of our employees. Whenever they get onboarded, they have to watch the video, and what it actually says is, our vision for the company. And the vision for the company is growing the company to $100 million and 50 locations all across the country, and even all across the continent, or wherever we're going to be able to open up multiple locations at. So that was my definition of moving forward in business, and we are now taking a step towards that. And it's something that I've been wanting to do since I had opened it. I've been wanting to open up multiple locations, and we're finally on track to open our second location. Now, the second location is going to be in Arizona. That's going to be in Tucson, Arizona. So this last year, I've been searching, far and wide on acquiring or opening up another location. It finally came to a point where I felt really comfortable at this location with the processes and the people, and also the amount of money that we're making from this location. I felt comfortable that I was like, hey, I can now leave and have this location run itself because of the systems and processes and the people that are in play. And let's go ahead and scale this thing, and let's go ahead and either one, open up another location, or number two, let's go ahead and acquire a location. So on this location, second location, I decided to acquire another business, which was a moving company that only focused on working with interior designers, and they had storage. So I found this deal on BizBuySell. It was a deal that I seen, months ago, but nobody had moved on the deal. So it caught some of my interest. I didn't move forward on the deal, a couple of months ago because I had so much more on my plate, and it was coming into the summertime. And summertime for us in the moving industry is super busy. So what I did was I went back on BizBuySell after coming out of the summer season, made some money, made sure that our processes worked. And I was like, okay, let's go look on BizBuySell. The goal in the beginning of the year was to acquire and open up 2 locations. So I still got a couple of months left in the year. I'm not saying that I may or may not open up a third location, but this is the first step to it. So going back to that, on BizBuySell, found it, reached out to the broker. I actually knew this broker because I had reached out to him probably in the beginning of the year about another location up in Phoenix, and this was just kind of getting to know the process on really buying another business. So I've done a lot of research, read a lot of books, followed a lot of people that are in the business acquisition space for small businesses, and there's a lot of thought process behind and different perspectives on whether to acquire a business or to open up a brand new location. Now, what intrigued me about this business was that this business was in business for 27 years. Okay, they had a 16,000 square foot warehouse. And the warehouse was already full. It was already cash flowing. The business does about $500,000 a year, and seller discretionary earnings means that what the company is making, with what the owner is taking out of it, and just also from net profit, they're making about $110,000 a year. And what this company had, which really intrigued me, was it had about $100,000 in assets with zero debt. So I took a flight out there. Spoke to the broker, took a flight out there, met with them, took a look at the warehouse. Beautiful warehouse, really, really nice warehouse. The warehouse was filled, so it was already making reoccurring revenue. And when I went there, met the owners. The reason why the owners want to sell the business is because they want to go ahead and then retire. So I was like, wow, they wanted to get out. As soon as I actually came into the meeting with them, they said, hey, when are you going to take this business over? And I was like, okay, yeah, cool. They want to go ahead and get out. Did an assessment and walkthrough of the whole business. They had 3 trucks fully paid off. Storage was all the way full, so I knew that they were making reoccurring revenue on there. And I looked at their books and their P&L statements, so they had a lot of revenue coming in just from the storage itself. Really sweet people, really, really nice people. After I did that, I went to drive around the Tucson area. Little hood, but we're in San Francisco, so there's a little hood over here as well too. But there was a lot of opportunity there. And when I looked at how their business model was structured, was they only focused solely on designers and storage. So being in the moving industry, I thought it would be a really good opportunity to add moving services to the company and to the business. And little do you know that Phoenix is like the Wild West, so they don't really have a bureau to regulate the moving side. And I have a couple of buddies that are in the moving industry in Arizona as well too. So I thought it was a really good opportunity. And another good thing was that there's only 3 moving companies that I would say is competition for me. One of them is a national known company, All My Sons Moving. And there's a couple of 2 other local companies. But I know that when I would come into the market, I would really push it and really push the marketing. And speaking to some of my mentors was that, you could come in and easily pump up the company to about $1 million, $1.5 million, which would be good, So I thought in my head, like, man, this is a really good deal. And the great thing about this deal was it was priced at $195,000 and it was seller financing. So, I wanted to get the best deal possible for myself. So how I broke down the deal was that I told the customers or told the sellers that, hey, I'm going to give you $35 down for the down payment on the company, and let me go ahead and finance the rest. How I broke it down was I'm going to finance it for 30 months, which is basically 2.5 years. And at the end is a balloon payment of, the remaining balance. Here's the reason why I had set it up like that. So, understanding that the company already does $500,000 in revenue a year, a year, and then there's $100,000 of net profit in there. Now, if we broke down the numbers, right? Let's do some quick math. So if it's doing $100,000 in profit a year, that's $8,300 profit a month. If we just come in there and we do totally nothing, right? So it's already profiting. It's already making some money on there. So how I structured it was that $2,500 a month for 30 months is going to go towards the actual loan that the sellers are holding. So that means that I'm going to be cash flowing $5,800 a month if I just go there and, for the 30 months, I'm going to be cash flowing $5,800 a month. And that's with just keeping the same exact setup. Now, I'm going to be sending my operations manager there. He's basically going to be taking all that profit and, for salary when we send him out there. And also, we're going to have some other costs that we're going to have, like marketing costs, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I kind of structured it like that. And now my plan is when I come in there, we're going to just go hard on marketing. And knowing myself and what I was able to create and do at this market, I feel super confident that I can just go there and really just duplicate it and just really push the envelope and really grow the company. Not only to mention is that I have a call center already right now, so they're going to basically be our command center, and they're going to be taking the calls for Tucson. So I feel very comfortable. Really what we have to do and kind of go there is do the hiring, and really just market and get ourselves out there, because the company already has their 3 trucks, they have 2 employees, the warehouse, they got everything there. So that's the reason why I had structured it like that, and I think that it's a win-win for me and the company, because as soon as I get in there, it was priced really low. As soon as I get in there, it's already going to be cash flowing, and then I'm just going to add a couple of things, do some marketing, and just right off the bat, I know that I can get the company to over $1 million a year, no problem. And if I get it to a 20% net profit, that's $200,000. So I'll already be making the money that I'm going to be paying for whatever I paid for the company. So not a bad deal. And the way that I look at a deal is that if I can add value to the company and I can get it more profitable and have a low down payment and take over it right then and there, I'll do it. And then also it's a company that's been around for a really long time, 27 years. So I don't know if I'm going to do an asset sale or if I'm going to acquire the assets, or I'm just going to do a stock sale. So I got to speak to my legal counsel for that. And I guess the differences between the two is that you might want to do a stock sale because the EIN has been around for a really long time. And since it's around for a really long time, maybe I can use that EIN to leverage some more capital. Or else if I just do an asset sale and I take all their assets and I just start brand new and fresh. But it just all depends on how their EIN looks, if they had any, if they were sued or there's anything that's on there, liens or anything like that. But right now we're in the process of the due diligence phase. So the offer got accepted. So we're in the process of due diligence. And due diligence is about 30 days. And then we're just going to make sure that everything lines up with whatever they're saying. I don't see how it's not going to line up because they've already got the structure there. They got the trucks there. They've been around for so long. I mean, and it's not a drastic amount of revenue. It's $500,000 in revenue. They have the warehouse, and I can just tell, knowing and being in the business, that warehouse is full, and I'm sure they're making revenue from there. It's actually double the size of the warehouse that we have right now. But the crazy thing is that the monthly rent is the same amount that we're paying. So I think right here we're at $1.25 a square foot. Over there, they're probably half of that. So they've been in that warehouse for, I don't know, 20 years. So once I come in, I'll be able to take that over and be able to keep that lease and keep the same amount. So that's the structure that I have set up with them. Now, wanted to now touch basis on what does that look like for me, my life, my lifestyle. And what does that mean for this location here? So how I have it set up is I'm going to move to Tucson for 3 months and get the company up and running. I'm going to have my operations manager. I'm going to promote him to a general manager here, and I'm going to have him run the location, get some experience, make sure that he understands the numbers. So he's going to take all that knowledge and then bring it over to Tucson, and I'm going to come back here. So I'm going to make a huge sacrifice by going out there and basically getting up and trusting my team that I have right here, and then trusting myself to go out to Tucson and really just destroy and kill it. It's going to be a huge experience. It's like the first time that I'm going to be in an area that I don't know anybody, but I'm ready for it and I'm hungry for it because I know that's what it takes. You got to make the sacrifices. Where I want to get to, I know that's what it takes. So this is the first step. it's a super exciting step, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's talk about the deal, who I'm going in with. So I'm going in with a business partner. We're doing 60-40 on there. The reason why I did it like that, I could have done it myself, but the reason why I did it was because I know that in the future I'll be working with some investors. You know, maybe we might have a bigger deal, or maybe there's something that we want to acquire. So I wanted to go ahead and have that set up where let's go ahead and try this on a smaller scale, and then once we get to a bigger scale, I'll know exactly what to do. So that's pretty much the whole thing with Tucson and Arizona, and then moving forward and you know, really getting the business to the next level and really growing it in life and in business. I know that when I go out there, I'm going to grow personally, and I'm going to also grow in the business. So yeah, that's one of the big stresses that I have going on, and the next 30 days is going to be super busy for due diligence and super stressful. So now let's kind of just get into now some of my personal time, and you know, now that I have, you know, I just hired 2 new estimators, hired 2 new sales reps, and you know, got this thing going on, and now it feels like I almost have 0 time to do anything. So what I kind of did and changed about my lifestyle, my schedule, was I started waking up even a lot earlier. I now wake up at about 4:50, 5 a.m. now, so I can knock things out. And then on that, at the end of the night or the day, it's really just not doing anything anyway. So I go to sleep earlier now, and I just try to make sure that throughout the day I'm as effective and efficient, and making sure that my time is used correctly instead of being everywhere and just, you know, fucking off and watching TV and things like that. But I mean, besides that, I made sure with all the stress that I have going on is that I do have a marathon coming up. And, you know, with all the stress that I have going on, I make sure that I still take care of myself. And I'm probably in the best shape of my life currently. And just running anywhere from 10 to 15 miles every single day and just being healthy. So I know I have to keep that up, especially coming into the new move and the new experience that I'm going to have to go through. So yeah, but that's pretty much it as far as the podcast. I just wanted to really hone in and really touch basis about Arizona, because that's a huge thing that's happening for me, and it's a milestone, right? It's a really big milestone, and it elevates not only me but everybody else in my company to do better and just more opportunity. And yeah, pretty much it. And there you have it, the Moving Forward podcast, where we focus on business and we focus on moving forward in life.